Two FBI agents hid beneath a billboard to catch speeding violations. A blue truck approached. With eager anticipation, they adjusted their equipment. The truck roared past. Mike stared at the display. 97 miles per hour. Not over the 100 miles per hour limit. A momentary pang of disappointment washed over them. But Jack didn't see it that way. The young man caught his drift. A mischievous grin spreading across his face as he gave chase. Driver Dirk noticed the pursuing patrol car. Realizing they meant business, he slowly drew a knife, cooperatively pulling over to the side of the road. Facing the approaching FBI agents, Dirk lowered his stance and asked what was going on.
Get a bit stuck on the big words every now and then, but I can read pretty good.
Oh, and you'd read the sign back there with the big 100 on it, wouldn't you?
I could have sworn I was, sitting under 100 there.
You think I'm talking shit?
Deke felt they were deliberately looking for trouble. He turned to leave, but the FBI pressed the issue relentlessly.
Mate, you sure you want to give me this?
Handed him the ticket directly, then floored it and sped off, watching the FBI vanish into the distance. Deck's rage boiled over instantly, ready to teach them a lesson with the Barrett in his car. The FBI agents were still laughing and joking, their words dripping with mockery. Little did they know disaster was about to strike suddenly. Mike dropped dead on the spot. The police car spun out of control, plunging into a bottomless abyss. Deck calmly approached carrying gasoline, poured it over the vehicle. Jack had lost all his earlier bravado. His eyes filled with terror. Deck returned the ticket to him. In the blink of an eye, the vehicle erupted in flames. Deck walked away from the FBI with nonchalance, leaving them to die without ever knowing. They'd meet their end over a traffic ticket. But what was even more terrifying was that Deck was actually a full-fledged serial killer. Soon, he set his sights on a young couple hiking together. The pair sought thrills in the wilderness, just about to do something, when they suddenly heard a noise. It was a truck approaching. The driver was none other than serial killer Dirk. He accused the couple of camping in the wrong place and offered to drive them to a hotel in town. William was highly alert. In this desolate wilderness, he sensed the man was dangerous. While explaining, he signaled the woman to call the police. Luna understood immediately, but just as she was about to dial, Deck's eyes flashed with malice. He yanked William toward the truck, drew a dagger, and stabbed him in the kidney. Watching her boyfriend collapse, Luna screamed and ran away, only to be grabbed by the hair by Deck. At the critical moment, her gravely wounded boyfriend rose to his feet, knocking Dirk down with a single blow. Yet it failed to harm him. Dirk sprang back up, subduing William again with a flurry of punches and kicks. Then, right before Luna's eyes, he slit her boyfriend's throat. Watching her boyfriend brutally murdered before her, Luna froze in terror. Deck clamped his hand around her throat. He didn't intend to kill Luna just yet. Instead, he planned to torture her slowly. After an unknown period of time, Luna awoke from unconsciousness to witness another bone-chilling scene. She saw her boyfriend's corpse being dismembered by Deck. Luna had no time for grief. Her sole thought was to escape this place quickly. Taking advantage of Deck's inattention, she slowly backed away, fearing she might alert the demon before her. Fortunately, she managed to escape. Sang Biao realized what had happened too late, but he wasn't the least bit panicked. He jumped into his truck and gave chase. Thanks to his familiarity with the terrain, he quickly tracked Luna down. But Luna was clever. She dashed into the woods, shaking off Deke, and made it to the highway. Just then, a Jeep Wrangler passed by. The driver was kind-hearted and rescued the stranger Luna. Little did he know this decision would seal his own fate. Before he could ask what happened, Deck barreled in with his truck. The Wrangler couldn't outrun the pork-hauling truck. The two vehicles raced side by side. The driver jerked the wheel, forcing the truck to stop, but nearly crashed into a tree himself. Seeing the man emerge carrying a Barrett rifle, the man quickly ducked down. But when he turned around, he saw Luna had been shot dead. Terrified, he floored the gas pedal and sped away. Deck fired another shot. Fortunately, it only hit the car body. He kept fleeing until dawn. He disposed of Luna's body and made his way to the highway. But at this critical moment of life and death, he realized he was lost. Just then, another car approached. The man clung to it like a lifeline. But upon closer inspection, the driver looked vaguely familiar. Terrified, he dived back into the Wrangler and floored it, speeding away. A slope lay ahead. He quickly left the cumbersome truck behind. But before he could celebrate, the tires suddenly slipped, sending the Wrangler careening out of control. By then, Dirk had caught up. Protected by the airbag, the man narrowly escaped death. But just as he floated, a massive object suddenly plummeted from above. The survivor fled into the desert. Soon he spotted a dwelling. Yet as he reached the doorway, the man collapsed unconscious. When he awoke, he found himself in a room. It turned out this family had rescued him and prepared food. As he prepared to eat, a familiar voice suddenly echoed. He froze in terror. The old man told him not to be afraid, then brandished a hunting rifle at Dirk, signaling him to leave immediately. Thinking he'd scared him off, Dirk stepped inside, only to find a rifle pressed against his temple. Both elders died instantly. Seeing this, Dirk fled in panic. Spotting a horse nearby, Dirk mounted it and gave chase. But how could two legs outrun four? The man was caught swiftly. When he awoke again, he found himself bound to a chair. The terrifying butcher wanted to play a little game with him. He would give the man 10 questions, each corresponding to a finger. For every wrong answer, a finger would be chopped off. If 5 fingers remained at the end, Sang Biao would spare him. The man had no choice but to grit his teeth and play along. The man proved resourceful, easily answering the first 2 questions. But the butcher grew restless, eager to sever fingers. The third answer was clearly correct. Yet the butcher, disregarding the rules, still chopped off a finger. His reason? He disliked the answer. At this rate, the man would be played to death. So while answering, he sought an escape. The 4th question involved sports. The man failed to answer correctly and lost another finger. Sang Biao, reveling in his triumph, went to fetch some liquor. Seizing the moment when his opponent turned away, the man grabbed a nearby sledgehammer and brought it down hard on Deke's head. He then undid the shackles. But just as he prepared to deliver the final blow, Sang Biao suddenly sprang to his feet. Realizing he wasn't the target, he turned and fled. Yet this was Deke's territory after all. Traps and mechanisms were everywhere. Escape was already hopeless.
Sang Biao unleashed vicious dogs.
Seeing the ferocious hounds charging, the man froze in terror. But this very situation triggered a mechanism that impaled the dogs to death. Simultaneously, it sealed him inside. He planned to lurk nearby for a sneak attack, but his scheme was foiled. The man was captured once more. When he awoke, he found himself stripped naked, lying on the street. It turned out Dirk saw talent in the man and spared his life. He remains the only survivor to have escaped Dirk's clutches. This true story unfolded in Australia. The survivor reported the incident to local police, and the killer was eventually apprehended. Ivan Milat was the real-life inspiration for the character. In Langley National Park, he specifically targeted foreign backpackers, employing exceptionally brutal methods. No one knows his exact death toll, but 28 murders were officially documented. The actual number likely far exceeds this. Shockingly, this demonic serial killer received only a life sentence, spending his remaining years in prison in relative comfort.